Hello, everyone. I'm Venom 2 Million. Wow, it worked. Wait, is it working? What if it didn't work? Hold on. What if it didn't work? Like, hi, everyone. I'm Venom 2 Million, and welcome to the live stream. I'm joined with a variety of different individuals, and they're going to introduce themselves. Now.
Who's going? I guess I'll go first. Spidey Skateboy, aka Josh.
I don't know what you just said. Take two. Action. What'd you say? We didn't hear you, bro.
Oh, it's well, I'm Josh, aka Spidey Skater Boy.
Yeah.
And I am Sully.
And that is fun.
And I'm just Spidey fan. That's about it, man.
That's right. That's right. And today, first of all, I ain't been here in a minute, but I'm here, and a lot of stuff been happening since I was supposed to put something in the chat for y'all, wasn't I? I was supposed to give y'all the link.
I think you were, man.
Oops, I forgot. Okay. Listen, now I know how to do that. I know how to give links
The
now.
cracks are already showing.
The cracks, not the cracks.
The immersion has been ruined.
The immersion has been ruined. But yes, these are members of the Spidey Squad, and we are all. What is all that? Is somebody in the middle of the ocean? What's going on?
Possibly. It could be possible someone's in a Tom Hanks-esque situation.
A Tom Hanks.
This is very possible, actually.
What does that mean? I've never heard of that before. But
It's with the Wilson.
oh, okay.
Oh,
I got it. I get it now. But it's been a minute, guys. But I'm here and we're here. We're going to be discussing this information. Listen, people talking about Spider-Man PS4. It comes out in 12 days. I'm so excited. Wait a minute. I finished writing like the entire story for my thing, and I'm just gonna upload it all in one video by like Friday, hopefully. That's my plan.
I've been dying.
That's my plan. But like I wrote it, and I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. I was like,
He did
wow, this is actually pretty good. Like, and I connected to. It's pretty good. You guys see it. Anyway,
It's pretty damn good. Pretty Oscar
with that being
he's not
said,
being narcissistic.
no, I'm not being narcissistic. Hey, listen, it's a better story than Insomniac's. Okay, no.
Oh, shots fired. And
Oh,
I think I'll agree with that.
So anyway, we're gonna be discussing the downgrade for Spider PS4. Oh, oops, wait a minute. Was it downgraded?
It wasn't downgraded.
Was it downgraded? Now, I have some stuff. I want us to talk. I want to show some stuff first. Before that, I'm supposed to put this in the chat, aren't I? So you guys can like see the thing. Okay. Listen, I feel like an old man when it comes to this technology because I'm trying to figure out just exactly how to get stuff like Discord and all that. I'm like, how does this work? Okay, wait. If I want to go to my channel, I have to type in Venom 2 Million because that's the name of the channel, right? And then I have to click on the link and put it in there. But anyway, first of all, do you all think it was downgraded? Was Spider-Man PS4 downgraded?
Yes, without a doubt.
Whoa. Explain, elaborate.
Well, let's see. Where exactly to begin?
Where do you begin, man?
Well,
To begin,
I don't know.
I suppose where I could start is the shot in the shot that shows off the scene from 2017 with the QTE shot where he does where he saves that man from the inner demons and he kicks him and flies him far away.
Mm-hmm.
I suppose we could start there because it honestly really seems like the texturing work on the ground seems to be almost, if not entirely, like gone for the most part on a good chunk of that area. And not only is it gone there, it also a lot of.
Oh, I can't
as
hear.
well. I don't know if that is a lighting issue.
Is Josh breaking up for y'all? Because Josh is breaking up for me. I can't hear Josh. I can't hear anyone now. Everybody just clicked out. Hello? Well, I think the stream, for the stream, you guys. There you go. Josh, are you there? Josh. Uh-oh. Josh, are you there? I can't hear you. You just clicked out for me and the stream. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yes,
Yeah. Josh, what you just said, I don't know what you said. You just clicked out.
No, Sally was just talking about how basically how he's not sure if it's due
Oh, I see why.
Because or whatever the reason for, because of lighting, but all the textures on the ground and the tone are just gone. And on the walls as well, it's just all gone.
It's all gone.
Yeah, and I'd also like to emphasize something. I don't want to sound overly negative when I say it's a downgrade. Like, if it was for optimization, that's fully understandable. But it's just that we just don't know why things were changed. Yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm just shitting on it. Like, oh, they're missing texture, so it's horrible. No, right. I just don't understand why they're not there.
Right, because there are textures missing.
Yeah, because there are definitive like textures that are missing.
For me, I find it interesting. I remember back like when they first announced like the game and everything, and how it looked so like good, and then and then we saw the game later and it was different, and they were like, "Oh, downgrade," and Insomniac was like, "No, we didn't. No downgrade. Yeah. Come on now."
And this is definitely a game you can tell. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't know to necessarily call it. I wouldn't know what to call it, but you can definitely tell there was a art style change at some point.
Oh yeah, it's definitely,
because originally, particularly from the 2016 trailer, the way that one looks, it looks very Arkham, Uncharted 4, and like almost Infamous kind of like inspired. While with like the current builds we've been seeing since like 2017, they look very cartoony and very like almost like Ratchet and Clank, mixed with almost kind of like a weird kind of like hyper realism kind of like art style. Was like the overly vibrant colors and like some of I don't know, just the general vibe of the way everything looks seems to have changed. I can't quite explain it, but it feels like something has changed.
I 100% agree with you. I 100% agree. I think that honestly, I'm gonna say it. Insomniac, you know, they were never like a amazing developer, and I'm sorry, they weren't. I never cared about Insomniac. I didn't care about them until they started making this game, and I don't like talking that much mess about them. I just don't think that I think they kind of bit off a little bit more than they could chew.
Yep. Yeah. I also have very much the same opinion, but for me, I would say if anything, I used to care about Insomniac, but not like recently. I mean, like when I was a little kid, like the Spyro trilogy and like their original 3 rap, like Deadlocked. Those ones I thoroughly enjoyed, and that was back then when I used to like them. I enjoyed their humor and I enjoyed their style of gameplay. But honestly, ever since then, I never really could get into like a lot of like their projects, and even as the developer for Spider-Man, I kind of had to take a step back and like, really, them of all people?
Yeah, remember
like really?
the rumors were the people that made
Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, and I thought it was gonna be Sucker Punch. Like I thought that could be pretty cool.
That's the one I was excited for. I was really excited when those leaks were coming out for a Sucker Punch-esque inspired Spider-Man game. I was like, holy shit, that actually sounds interesting.
Right. They're making Ghost of Tsushima. And now, what do you guys? Because again, I'm going back to taking it back. Now, you all think it is a downgrade, right?
Yes.
So, are we calling Insomniac liars?
No, I wouldn't say that. I the way how I look at it, it's more like I'm more leaning in that it's more optimizational purposes. So they're not necessarily, they're like, it's not downgraded. We're not trying to purposely downgrade the game. We're just trying to make sure that the game works to the point where it's not gonna break at any point because of all the beautiful graphics and shit that we put in.
Oh snap! I forgot. Y'all can't talk bad about Insomniac. Oh snap! I forgot about that. Of course, y'all gonna say no. We're not calling them liars. We're just.
No, I have a couple of things I actually wouldn't mind saying about what they're doing with the game, but I know we did a whole podcast and that's a whole thing and all that stuff was there, so I'm not going to bring that up again.
Okay.
So,
I will say this, right, in terms of the downgrade, right? Sony exclusives from the get-go seem to, when they announce their games, they will spike it up to a level that you're like, oh shit, okay.
That is actually what I was about to bring up. I was about to say, like, I don't really know who to blame, but someone did lie about this. I don't know. They did
it with Last of Us when they revealed it. There was gameplay elements taken out completely. Yep, God of War. Like it's I'm looking at Sony, but at the same time I will say it is probably optimization, but there's definitely a downgrade.
Yeah, it could be optimization, or it could also be a fact that maybe they just bit off far too much than they can chew, going for that level of graphical fidelity they were showing
because
off
their
of.
engine also can't really handle it either. It's the same.
I think their engine can handle it, but I don't think it's really a problem with the engine regarding the graphics. I think it may just be like a system limitation.
Really?
Maybe. But even then, that's just me being optimistic. That's me like literally trying to be like the most optimistic I can.
Yeah,
But if I were going like for like what I think it is, I do think someone lied. I just don't know who lied.
I mean, when we look at here, let me put this up on screen for y'all. Look at these tweets. First of all, it's like, hey, what's with the downgrade? It's just a change in the puddle size. There's no downgrade at all. And it's like, wait a minute. Okay, my guy. And then for me, when you look at let me show y'all this, because this is what got me. All right. When you look at and I don't know if you guys are watching the screen, you guys can't see my screen, can you? So like, where's that part where here it is. So they said there's just a change in the puddle size. So when it plays, right, he goes, and there's no water there, yet there's clearly something's going on. Clearly something's going on. And then over here you look at the texture on the wall, like you guys were talking about earlier. You can't see the screen? The screen is black. Wow. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Never mind. See? Well, there it is. It's black screen. Big downgrade. Big downgrade. Black screen. All of it. No.
All of it. Completely gone. The game's
completely
gone.
The game
it doesn't even exist.
There is no game. There is no game.
It was all.
Maybe I can do it on. I can do it on YouTube. I think I can do it on YouTube. Can I? YouTube is just all right. Here we go. Here, I'll put it on YouTube, then you guys can see what I'm talking about. So right here, like you can see the water around him, but there is no water. So like there's clearly something going on. It's not a change in puddle size. It's been like it's been like deleted. Yeah, like they deleted it, but didn't delete the effect. And when you look at the on the sides, you know, the textures over here have been completely downgraded. When you look at the old image, the 2017 E3 thing, you know that it's just so man, I'll say it. They're lying. I'll say it. They are lying. I don't care. They're lying. This is blatant lies.
What I will say about this is that it's very odd, because there's a lot of things that I don't feel so they really need to like quote unquote lie about. Well, it's not even quote unquote, like there are some things that they are lying about, and there's things that are just being really coy about. There's no need for it. Like there's things that are quite obvious that they don't like. Oh, I don't know, maybe, or oh, that's not the case. My guy, we're looking at this shit. We can see it's right there. We can see what's going on. We're not stupid.
Right.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think the reason why, like, someone, I still don't definitively know who said it. So I'm just gonna stay like, I'm just gonna be a fence sitter. I'm sorry, everybody, regarding that. I'm gonna be a fence sitter on the whole this, because I just don't know like exactly who was in the wrong. But it's not only just a problem with this game. It's a problem with this E3 heroes for games. They completely overboard on the graphics, and they show a level of graphical fidelity that is not possible where we have, and that's strictly because, like, for some odd reason, all these gaming companies, and they always have to push the graphics rather than like push gameplay elements. Show what's actually new regarding gameplay. Show like the story. Show what makes this unique. Don't just show off the graphics. I don't want, because I'm of the opinion I don't frankly care that much about graphics all that often. But unless it's something like this where you and then that's taken away, then that's when but if you show it from the get-go that maybe it's not the most prettiest game ever, but it has like the great gameplay, then I'm okay with it. But it's just with this gen, they always like supercharge the graphics so much to the point that at E3 most of the time a lot of those demos aren't even on console. They're rendered on PCs, just leveled to 30 FPS.
Yep.
Do you guys think that because you all know I'm very vocal about the things that I dislike about this game and the things that I haven't been on YouTube in a minute, but I thought that when we got the new footage that we've gotten and stuff was really good, and I've really been excited about it, and I'm really looking forward to the game. But from the beginning, you know, I've never I never got on the hype train for this game. And it's because I was noticing things way back that I was like, what? No. Is this in any way an implication for the total overall of the game, in y'all opinions? Could this be, these little things, could this be perhaps implications for bigger things in the game? Yeah.
Oh, for like the overall quality of the game, like where certain things change due to this. I think that could be a possibility in some ways, because we've already seen one instance of one thing that was changed. It was something beyond their control, but something did change, and that's the fact that the Freedom Tower is no longer in the game.
Yep.
Oh, the Freedom Tower is no longer in the game?
Yep.
Yeah,
The tower's there. They just changed it.
Oh yeah, they had that. Yeah, the tower is there, but it's changed, and it wasn't due to anything really on their fault. Well, kind of. It was mainly due to mismanagement, I think, more than anything, because they lost the licensing to the Freedom Tower.
And that still hasn't been met to this very day.
There's actually a shot in the combat trailer that shows the Freedom Tower when he's fighting the guy on the construction site. You do see it, which means it's an old build of the game. So I think there's a few shots from the old build. That's the only shot I could really see that was from the old build. But yeah, they definitely took it out.
They lost the license to the building.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they're inside. They're Marvel. Oh man.
But the Freedom Tower is like the most expensive licensed building.
I got that. But they're Sony and Marvel.
Yeah, I know.
But
Understand that.
Sony isn't gonna want to spend money if it's not needed.
And I can see maybe they could have fixed it, but then again, I'm not a developer. I'm not part of the whole whole marketing machine, so I don't know if this could work. I think maybe they could have gotten around this, and this is just from my perspective. Maybe they could have gotten around it if they just didn't show the Freedom Tower in all the trailers and waited until the game came out. So they could have So if anything, they could have waited to buy the license towards the end of development and rendered it in towards the end.
Right.
Or hell,
maybe
they could have done something even different. Done what Web of Shadows did. Somehow they couldn't get the rights to Empire State Building. They just called it the Trash Building, but it looks exactly like the Empire State Building.
Which they could have done, but hey, maybe that's not possible. I'm not part of the whole game making machine, but that's just from my perspective. Maybe what they could have done.
What do y'all think of their reasoning? So Insomniac's tweets, they said, suffice to say, it's just as detailed and rich as the original capture in 2016. The lighting is different though as things move around, city changes, etc., etc., etc. The suit texture is still there. You just can't see it due to video compression quality and where it was pulled motion blur wise. Lighting has changed in the last 2 years for that scene. Now, my question is this. They're saying that the lighting has changed. They're saying that the motion blur, they've added motion blur and things like that. They're also saying video compression quality. Now, the last video, it was a video, and it had video compression as well. Yeah. So that doesn't really make sense to me. Number two, you're adding motion blur things. Like it's like I'm not at all, a game developer, and I can't say that, well, actually, if I had the resources and things like that, I would try my darndest. But I can't take the credit away from Insomniac because what they're doing, they have an awesome looking product. However, we know very plainly that the look of the game is different from 2016 to today.
Changed.
Oh,
exactly.
Wait.
So what do y'all think of Insomniac's tweets?
Oh, regarding the changes.
And they're like saying, listen, lighting has changed again. Why did lighting change? I think it all goes down to the lighting changed because the PlayStation 4 couldn't handle it. That's downgrade. Motion blur was added because I'm sorry. I'm just like the Insomniac. When we first saw the suit change, the suit didn't change. Blah blah blah. Yes, it did.
Oh, I got something for you. the what you call it? You're talking about the lighting. Oh, back then we were kind of questioning if there was some kind of downgrade that was happening because of how the PGW trailer looked and like how Spider-Man was looking all like plasticky and everything. We were like,
Yeah,
whoa, what the hell's
ridiculously
happening?
shiny.
Yep.
And they were like, oh,
Yeah, it was
that's the
because of
light.
the spec mapping. Yeah.
What'd they say?
They said that the spec mapping was too large on Spider-Man's like suit, so it just would reflect everything, and they
Oh.
had to tone it down.
Hmm.
So, and there is another shot in a recent trailer that we got where it looked very similar to that, and it had to have been an early thing that they picked. It's when he's catching the vehicle. I think it's in the combat video or it's in the New York video. I can't remember which one it is. It's one of the.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
in the combat video, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, his shoe was really sunny.
So
Oh,
I,
wait, so wait, hold on.
I'm
I was
calling
reading the
Insomniac
chat.
liars. Go ahead. Yes.
I'm reading the chat, and it looks like some people believe that we're Xbox.
Wait, hold on.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered the.
Wait, what'd you say? You
Hold on,
said
wait, hold
you
up.
said they believe what?
Xbox fanboy.
I think
We're
we're
Xbox
Xbox fanboys.
Xbox fanboys. Yeah, Xbox all day. Xbox all day. I love Xbox. Xbox all day. Yeah. Xbox. Yeah. All that. Hold on. Wait. Let me turn my camera on real quick. Let me show y'all just how much of a fanboy I am.
Oh no!
Wait, who said that?
Xbox fanboy
Who
all
said that in
day.
the chat?
I'm an Xbox fanboy. Hold on. Hey, what up, though? Xbox. Yeah. Nah, what these silly people. I got both systems. Chill on me.
Xbox.
They need to chill.
Talking about that again.
They need to chill.
Xbox One.
And actually, now that we're bringing up fanboy culture, that's also something, unfortunately, that's kind of made me like I'm trying to think how to describe, not really hate the community behind this game, but just trust it immensely. But because of the fact it is a PS4 exclusive, and as seen in the past, people get really rabid and really protective over like any kind of exclusive game. And it might be, and it's even doubly so now, just because now, like currently, Spider-Man is a very popular character.
Yeah, any
He's in the
complaint-
MCU and everything. And any complaint you
anyway.
may have, they're just either going to try and snuff it out with any kind of like straw man argument they can to try and make you look bad and make you look stupid, or they will claim that you're a fanboy.
Yep, every time.
And unfortunately, it's made even worse by the fact that this is a PlayStation exclusive, because as seen in the past, the fans of these games, and I am a fan of these games, but some of the behavior of some of the people who like these PlayStation games is just bizarre, and it's like tribalistic. Like they don't want to hear any kind of complaints about their games. And that's not just for this game, that's just for PlayStation exclusives like as a whole this generation, and even last gen kind of.
I 100% agree with you. I think that especially because I mean I experienced the Spider-Man hate back with TASM, you know. So,
Yeah.
And like now because of it being a PlayStation exclusive, it's like even more. It's even more, you know. And I just really wish that people could like come together and realize that these companies do what they do because we allow it, and if we want change, like we can. You know, we are the ones that can actually make the change happen. But
yeah, we can cause change because hell, that's the whole reason why pre-order culture and DLC culture got as bad as it was, is because we were putting up with it. We were putting up with bullshit for so long.
Yep.
And now with the loot box controversy regarding Battlefront 2, that actually flew back in their face because people actively said no. They said, no, we don't want to deal with this. We don't want this.
Right. Hey, guys, can y'all talk in the chat? That way I can make you guys admins, by the way, moderators.
Oh, definitely. I got you.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'll hit you with that big fat yeet in the chat.
Big fat yeet. Yeah. There you go. Okay,
I'll
there
play
you
it.
go.
I'll hit you with the big fat yeet. You know what I'm saying?
Big fat yeet. That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, there's the yeet. I see it.
I wasn't kidding. I was gonna put a big fat yeet. Look.
Okay.
Talking.
Yeet. All right.
Yeetus, Yeetus.
So
Hashtag.
I'm trying to
No
figure out.
skeetles.
I've been thinking about the this game in terms of like the future of it, right? So when we look back at Spider-Man, at Marvel's Spider-Man, when we look back at it, how do you think this will affect like the future of superhero games? And that's a very difficult question, especially with us not playing it yet. But like,
It's a very big question.
Oh man.
I think I got it. I think I got it.
that one until we play it.
There is one aspect I can say I am legitimately worried about, and I'm kind of worried about like the way they've described the open world. It's very, very Ubisoft-esque. Like a lot of it is just busy work, and a lot of it doesn't really seem to have like the most substance to it. And I'm kind of worried that that trend will extend on to other superhero games, because not only did Spider-Man have it, also Batman Arkham Knight had that same problem too. They were using a lot of Ubisoft-isms for their open world, and a lot of that doesn't really have a lot of sustenance, and a lot of it is just busy work. A lot of it doesn't really like add up in the grand scheme of things, and it just feels like filler. And I am worried about that. Like if they want to continue the whole like open world aspect of superhero games, I am worried that that trend is gonna come back.
Anybody else?
But even then, that could be a subjective thing, because just personally, I'm not a fan of like the Ubisoft model of doing open world stuff. I'm not a fan of the whole.
You don't like radio
Disney
towers?
Fuck radio towers. I don't like radio towers. I don't like just obligatory busy work that overall just doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things.
Research station sounds like a lot of fun, dude. I'm excited.
What does this mean for? So with what you're saying, like, what does that mean? What does that say about Insomniac then?
What it says about them,
Playing it too safe.
It's that. I'm kind of worried that if this game does really well, I'm kind of afraid that they might not attempt to go further than that. They might just stick with what works with this one regarding like the way the open world functionality works and whatnot, where it's very, very Ubisoft and very like busy work inspired, rather than like having like full on like side mission, like full on like, which very much there could be. It's just that they haven't done a very good job of showing it, like full on like side villains, like full on like whole side missions too that don't even have to tie into the plot, but they're just nice little like condensed stories that are like that just happen to be taking place in this version of New York.
Thanks for the donation, Donuts. 11223344111.
Dear God.
He said, "I hope it's as great as we think." I hope it is too. I was thinking about.
Dude, we have a lot riding on this game, man.
I don't think I'll be honest with you. I don't think that. I think Insomniac is nervous, but I don't think that Insomniac or Marvel or Sony are necessarily worried about the sales or the pretty much like the, I don't want to say the quality of the game, but then because there is a quality control aspect to Sony games, but I don't think they're like. I think there are certain things that they are allowing, or certain things that can be done because this is a Spider-Man game, and those things can be like cutting corners.
It very much could be, because not only is Sony not worried about the they're not only are they not worried about their sales factors, I can almost guarantee they're probably not worried about the reviews at all, because this literally has everything like kind of like the way how every Sony exclusive kind of has like these aspects of them that are like, I kind of describe them similar, kind of like the Oscar baiting almost, but for video games. They have those qualities in this, and they have them in all their exclusives.
Yeah, God of War had that.
And this one has those exact same kind of things too, like the overemphasis on their story, so much to the point that they're literally like blocking the littlest of leaks and whatnot. And I'm like, dude, it's a video game story. Don't worry about it that much. If anything, the gameplay should be your should be your priority, because it's a game. We play these to interact with them, to play them. If we wanted to watch a movie, we'd go to the theater. And that's kind of the problem I've had with PS4 games like this gen, like kind of like in general, is that a good chunk of them, they try too hard to be movies rather than just try to be like good games. They focus way too much like on their narrative, and they focus way too much on their graphical fidelity and like their cinematography. And look at this grand shot, or look at this grand set piece that we literally worked on for like only like 6 months, was dedicated to just that one scene. Very much like the way a movie does, where they focus like on like their big scene for like months at a time. I kind of get that same vibe from a lot of like these exclusives, is they it's just too film-like, and I'm like, which can be fine depending on the game, but it doesn't need to be in everything.
And to hop off of what Sully said, to me personally, and granted, like, it's been done in quite a bit of his movies, but I don't feel as though Spider-Man's a character who needs super huge set pieces, because to me, he's always been that street level hero who's just more focused on, like, oh shit, like, you know, there's some mobsters, you know, dealing guns.
Yeah, yeah, he's much more of a hero. It's much more of a hero for the people, and that's not saying you can't do set pieces. There are storylines where he has done like these massive battles, like, oh, the battle for New York, like, I need to save everybody. But those stories are more of the exception rather than the rule regarding the character.
And that's why, like, when they promoted, like, oh, we're gonna have Uncharted style set piece, like that, and with the gadgets, those are things I was like, more so the gadgets, but with the set piece, I was like, why? I understand it's an exclusive, but you know, like, you could do more of a character piece and then less focus on these enormous ass set pieces.
Yeah, these bombastic.
Spider-Man can still, like, he got like 2 and just be like, yeah, I'm a machismo, you know, badass superhero. Like, oh yeah, like, sun's falling, it's like freaking like heavy as hell. Oh yeah, I can lift it real quick. Yeah, like, but you don't need a whole bunch of parts in the game like that. I'd be fine if there's like 2, but you don't. But the way how they're phrasing, like, oh, it's gonna be like Uncharted, like almost every 3 seconds. Yeah. Oh, someone's gonna explode. Like, I don't know.
And it's not only that; it's also the way they've marketed it too. Because in every single like trailer we've seen of marketing, there's always something blowing up. Things are always exploding in this game. Like, something is always exploding, and I always make the joke, like, I know it's not going to get this bad, but I always make the joke, I'm like, good God, if the explosions are going up the way it is now, it's going to look like the end of Man of Steel. Just going to be a crater. He's just going to be in a crater in the middle of New York, like, I saved the city. Did you really? It's a crater.
Dude,
Wait.
Well, hold up. We're hiding that comment calling us niggas stupid.
Hey, we're also apparently dissing Uncharted as well. Damn.
Uncharted is dope. I like Uncharted.
What are you talking about?
Favorite series,
Uncharted's
okay.
amazing. How we diss Uncharted, my guy? We're just saying that we don't need all these set pieces for Spider-Man because that's not the character.
I don't necessarily have an issue with the set pieces. I don't have that issue. My issue, the big thing that I've been, you know, just mainly talking about is just that this Spider-Man game is I just don't. Like, I think it's really polished. It's missing. Yeah. It's still there's still some details that are missing, but it's a really polished Spider-Man game. I think the potential of the story is great. But in terms of gameplay, it's pretty much rehashing.
It's very
and for that reason, this gets to my question now. First, I'll start with sales. Is this going to sell more than God of War?
Maybe. I honestly think it will, mainly because I think the biggest factor as to why it might sell better, it's Spider-Man. Like, it's just Spider-Man. That's all you need to say. He's the most profitable superhero. That's all you need to say. 2, it's a T-rated game, so it is a lot more accessible, and it's a lot more quote-unquote family-oriented. And then 3, you know, like, there's just a lot of hype behind this game. Like, it's unfathomable how much hype is behind this. Like, I always knew there was people who were about, like, I didn't really understand how much hype there was up until recently. I was like, holy shit, we're like 2 weeks out, all the people are just coming out of the woodworks. Like, people like that I know that aren't even that much into comic books. Right. Like, oh yeah, the new Spider-Man game, yeah, I pre-ordered that, I'm gonna get that game. I'm like, you don't even like comic books. Where are you coming from?
That's something I've noticed too. I've noticed, like, especially like if you go back and look up like old Spider-Man, like, not like ones fans have uploaded, but like official videos, you'll notice there's a really big viewer discrepancy between all those trailers and all those like gameplays released like by the older games compared to this one. This one surprisingly has a lot more traction, even though it's the same character. And that was surprising to me, and I don't. And like, is it because it's a Sony exclusive? Is it because Spider-Man's really popular right now in the MCU? I don't quite know what where this audience came from.
I think it's because it's a Sony exclusive, and because I think it's mainly because it's a Sony exclusive. Like, some people will say, "Oh, Spider-Man is bumping right now." I'm like, no, I don't necessarily think Spider-Man is bumping. I think Spider-Man, you know, he's he would never was not popular. I just think now there's this huge push from Sony because it's their game, and like people are like, oh, a Spider-Man game. I haven't played a Spider-Man game in a while. You know, it reminds them of their childhood, regardless of if the game was bad or good that they played. It just, you know.
And not only that, it's just due to Sony's reputation as it is too, because their games are known to be like critically acclaimed and like and tend to like, and they always have like that certain quality to it, regardless of like whether you like it or not. They have like these certain level of like polish, quality, and like graphical fidelity that people have come to expect from them. And maybe that's it. Maybe people were just excited to see all of that, all those elements transferred into a Spider-Man game. Maybe that's like where all this fan base came from.
Hold on, wait. I just read a comment by this Jay Sims guy. He said you can never have too many set pieces. Over the top is always the way to go. What?
He said,
no, you don't always want to go over the top. Especially for anything cinematic, you don't always want to go over the top. That's called hamming it up.
I would say like I do agree, but I don't think for this kind of game, because this game they are heavily emphasizing like they are heavily pushing the story and like the whole like, oh, Peter Parker and Spider-Man's worlds like will collide, and this is going to be a very personal story.
That's what I'm saying. Like in terms of like for a story, you don't want to go over the top.
Yeah, and that's why I never had problems with Uncharted being over the top, because those are meant to be over the top. Those are meant to be a nice reference to like Indiana Jones and the old 50s and 60s serials back in the day that were over the top and very light on story. All you had to have was likable characters and fun things to do.
And then maybe like a little bit of romance on the side. That was it. And then mainly action. But this is clearly a character-driven story, so that's why you don't want to go over the top. That's why I was saying, like, for most things, you just don't want to do that. Or unless you're going for something that's, like, exaggerated, then you don't want to do it.
Yeah, and even then, too, like, I don't necessarily have a big problem with the set pieces. I think it's more I have a problem with the marketing more than anything, because that's the biggest thing I keep seeing is, like, I see it in every trailer. It's always something blowing up. Something's always exploding.
Because it's a super.
My brain's gonna be exploding when the game.
And maybe even the full game's not like that, but it's just the vibe of the marketing gives me. I'm like, so it just kind of looks ridiculous. Like I'm already desensitized to all like the set pieces that we've seen so far, because everything just keeps exploding.
Boom, boom, blow up, explosion, boom, Spider-Man, boom. You know, it became. Yeah, but that gets people's attention. Like I think it's pretty cool. I'm serious. I like it. I'm like, yeah, blow up, yeah, woo. Spider-Man, you know, I like
and that fully just depends on what you're looking for too. That's just for me. That's just not like what I'm fully looking for in the characters.
I'm not looking for a whole bunch of like crazy, insane stuff. Because like if you just put one or two, like how the Raimi films did, or at least like how, you know, like how the first two did, you know, like where, you know, like you have some really nice built up like set pieces, like one or two of them, and they're like insane, like adrenaline rushing like set pieces, and then you're like, oh yeah. I'm hyped for this. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, yeah. And you just want to keep going forward with it. But like, I don't want to just like boom, 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 boom. I'm like, wait.
Yeah, that's my primary worry. I'm kind of worried that like by like the third or fourth one, I'm gonna be like, you know, I'm kind of sick of set pieces. I think everything's just exploding. I'm already kind of getting sick of it.
I hope that the story is I really hope that the story is really cool. Like the one thing I was thinking about when I was writing my thing, like there are a number of different, there are like a lot of, not a lot, but there are a number of different segments where like the gameplay changes, like for like, and even in the part that I released, like how it switches to Mary Jane and then you're like driving and like you're following Spider-Man. Like I hope that there's some varied gameplay elements within the game, but I just, I don't know. I think back to just last year when I was having conversations with Evan and everybody, and you know, people were talking about like what I kept saying was like Insomniac, they all they care about is money, and I was saying that in the framework of them being a company, and you know, and I just have this huge issue with like them like almost calling us stupid, like listen, okay, you don't know what you're talking about. The game wasn't downgraded. No, okay, you don't understand. I have this huge issue, and then
it's like condescending almost.
No, I don't think it's condescending. I'm just a sensitive little kid, and I like Spider-Man, and I'm like, no, don't talk to me like I'm bald-headed about my Spider-Man. You know, I just don't.
Yeah.
I just have an issue with it. But
You did not just say like I'm bald headed about my Spider. You did not just say that.
They talking us like we bald headed, man. I'm like, bro, I see it. They talk about 2016 not downgraded, or it's not downgraded from 2016. And then the one thing that gets me, this is the best stories are when Spider-Man and Peter Parker's worlds collide. And I'm like, okay, all right. But then, like, within the gameplay, I hope, maybe, I haven't played the game. So maybe when we get the game, that will come to fruition. But with what we've seen so far, it's like, you have your Spider-Man mission, and then you have your, like, Peter Parker mission where you walk around, and then you talk, and then you're Spider-Man again. And I just wonder what that actually means. Like, and again, because I'm joking when I say this, but I'll still say it anyway. Because I am a narcissistic ass, I think that my idea of like having gameplay, the game literally be not split down the middle, but Peter Parker be an essential role and essential element of the game, as well as Spider-Man. I think that is the worlds colliding. Like, from what we've seen so far, this is run-of-the-mill.
It's very Ratchet and Clank, where like, oh, you play this mission as Ratchet, oh, the next mission is Clank. You never just change in the middle of a mission. It's never dynamic in that way. It's very much like set stage, and that is the thing that I was disappointed about, because they kept going on and on about worlds collide and whatnot, and because we didn't see anything of Parker for so long, I was making up things in my head, so that by the time we saw what it actually was, like, I basically just set myself for disappointment at that point. Because my ideas in my head were very similar to yours. Like, I like it, like, because I'm not one who cares too much about Peter Parker gameplay until I started thinking about it, like the ways you could do it, and I was like, wow, that actually could be kind of cool, like kind of doing like detective-esque kind of like you do a mission as Spider-Man, you take down a villain and whatnot. And maybe like once the mission is over, you immediately have to go in an alley, come back to the same area, and the mission hasn't ended, but now you're doing detective work as Parker. You're like snooping around, you're sneaking around to areas you shouldn't be, you interact with MJ during the things, and it's all the same mission. It's not broken up by like, oh, this is the Spider-Man mission, or oh, this is the Peter mission. It's like, nope, we're just taking you out of Spider-Man right here and now.
Or better yet, like I've been thinking about like Skyrim and how Red Dead Redemption, they have the little element of being able to communicate and interact with people within the environment. Like, what if you made like a role-playing Spider-Man game? Like, you legit, you had like conversations as Peter Spider-Man. You choose what you say. That all dictates what happens. I like that Spider-Man Peter Parker's worlds collide. You basically just described the only way I would ever really be interested in Peter Parker gameplay is if he was that big an aspect. But so far from what we've seen, he looks okay, but he's not for someone like me, because they look very much like walking simulators almost. You just walk around and you press like a button and you talk to someone. You walk. They're almost kind of like exposition sections of the game. They just tell you more about like his like who he is and like how Spider-Man affects him without you actually like interacting or doing anything with him. So we've got 9 minutes left, and I have to leave. But somebody, Luke Linjic, just said in the chat. He said, "You see all the leaks, like story stuff." I haven't seen any leaks. We were talking off air a little bit about some of the leaks that came out. You guys said that the suits all leaked out.
Yeah. They apparently have leaked out 27 suits.
27 suits. Okay.
Yeah. And there's no other movie suits besides.
Wait, hold on. Oh, you went there anyway. For everybody listening, we may talk a little bit about these suits, and if you don't want to be spoiled, then thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.
Skedaddle.
Yeah, while you guys are here, where can everybody check you guys at?
Well, I'm on Twitter and YouTube, both Spidey Skater Boy. That's SPIDEYSK8RBOY. That's pretty much where you can find me. And if you want to go to the Spidey Squad Discord, then you'll probably find me on there as Venom 2 Million Jr.
Everybody else? Where can everybody else, where can they find you all at before we get to the spoiler stuff? Because listen, some people they're sensitive about that stuff.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, about wanting to talk to people. Okay, so I guess I'm afraid not to disappoint all of you. I'm sorry to disappoint all of you that you can't private message and yell at me because I don't really have any form of social media whatsoever.
Wait, Lucas is in the chat. Wait a minute, hold on.
There's nowhere you guys can yell at me or call me an Xbox fanboy. He is.
Lucas. I tweeted you. What if he's like? What he's like? I tweeted you back, and I'm like, oh, well.
And boy, you should have been in here, but you took 30 years, my guy. We wanted to talk to you.
Yeah, Lucas, you supposed to be in here talking. Anyway, continue. So you said there are no Raimi suits in the game.
Not only that, not only that, just so I don't seem like a Raimi fanboy, but which I am. But anyway, to go on with it, not only are there no Raimi suits, there are also no TASM suits. But yet in the game, they have all 3 MCU suits. Not a single one of the other movie suits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Oh, and there's basically there's 3 variations of the classic suit, but one of them I will not say what they are because it's a really cool throwback, and I'm not going to say. I'll tell you, Venom, when the stream is over, because that one genuinely surprised the shit out of me. I couldn't tell what it was, what version of it was, but it surprised me. I'll just say it's cell shaded. That's all I'll say. It's cell shaded.
Oh, wow.
There's a cell shaded suit.
Wow, I think you just gave me an idea, but I'm not going to say it. Wow,
just type it to me, and I'll tell you if you're right. Type it to me. I'll tell you if you're right.
I'll type it. All right. So,
yeah,
you guys, were there any story spoilers that came up?
There were some, but they're very all over the place, and none of them can really be confirmed except for the 3rd act villain and the final villain can be confirmed.
Yeah,
that can be confirmed, but the rest of them is either hearsay or take it with a grain of salt. But since the guy posted that photo, it could be possible.
What I will say though is the villain. I'm not saying who it is for no one who doesn't want to be spoiled, but who he is. This nigga looked like Hans Zimmer.
What?
He really looked like Hans Zimmer. No, his character model looks like Hans Zimmer. You know, the composer.
Well,
he looks like him.
I have an idea who it is.
I won't say any of the picture because I don't want to spoil you.
Do we know if Mark Hamill is actually voicing in the game? Is he actually?
No,
I don't know if he's in the game.
There was no leaks regarding any voice acting or anything like that.
Well, there's been rumors about Bryan Cranston potentially voicing J. Jonah Jameson, but that's hearsay.
No, I don't think so. Well, maybe
because apparently Insomniac followed him and he followed them, and people were like, "Oh, he's JJ."
Okay, I'm so sorry. I just got back.
Don't spoil any villains. Don't spoil anything.
I know Lucas just got into the. I know he's in the comments. So what was his reaction to the Raimi suit?
He just said no Raimi suits. Lucas, what do you think? Lucas, get on Discord real quick for the final 7 minutes. Get on Discord, join us.
That's really disappointing that those suits aren't there, and even for the TASM suits, those are disappointing as aren't. Because I'm not even a fan of the TASM movies, but that is disappointing they aren't there because those movies do have their fans.
They even had a pose, for the classic suit that was released during Comic-Con, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was a final swing shot from TASM 1, and I'm like, that should have been used for the reveal of that suit, but all right.
Hell, what you call it? Speaking of TASM movies, they in the game there's an actual swinging animation that's taken straight from TASM 2.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Oh, yeah.
Straight from TASM 2.
I mean, no one can. I mean, I would have only wanted the TASM 1 suit, but still, that's besides the point.
Bro, no, get off the screen. Oh no.
Oh wait.
What happened?
No.
Oh, y'all can see
Is
that.
everyone?
Oops.
Yeah, they can.
Well.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh shit.
Oh, Venom, you're off. It's from. I'll just say this. It's from something that's very beautiful. Oh, they saw
There you
it.
go, guys. Well,
There you go.
They saw a little bit of it. They didn't see everything.
Yeah, they didn't see all of them.
They're gonna go back and pause what the fuck is it?
They're gonna go frame by frame.
Oh man, Insomniac's coming after us. No!
Yeah, this is the one thing that gets the stream taken down when it goes into when it gets archived. Oh, you showed that? All
Can
right.
you guys invite? I was trying to invite Lucas to it, and then I saw that
you.
something popped
Do you
up.
guys
That's what I was trying to do.
who has him added as a friend? Who has him as a friend?
I'm added as a friend, but I can. Oh yeah, no, he's not a friend. No.
Someone send Lucas a friend request. One of us are gonna send you a friend request,
When I
Lucas,
do
and
it-
then we're
when I
gonna
do it,
add
it's
you,
gonna
and they'll
pop
add
up.
you to the group DM.
Yeah, it's gonna pop up again. I was trying to add Lucas, and I said, "Oh, you sent me a message." Then I clicked on it. Oh,
All right, boys. If you don't want to see it, close them eyes.
But, so they. And I'm not surprised at what Insomniac has included and what they have not included and what they have, I'm not surprised at all. I'm not disappointed at all. I actually think that this is going to be my most favorite Spider-Man game, period, because I am in no way at all hyped. And I don't think I can be disappointed by this game.
Because you don't know what's
Well,
gonna
I mean, what? TASM 2 was the best Spider-Man game ever to grace this earth. So
No.
Yo, every time
good,
you
dude.
bring up TASM 2, I just hurt. All right? I physically hurt.
And
you
I
guys don't like that game?
And I luckily never played TASM 2, so I never have any idea.
No,
It physically hurts
You
Venom.
have to
So many-
play. You have to play it now. You have.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
you
common
have to play just for
purposes, you
shits
gotta
and
play
giggles.
it.
Yeah, I never played it, so I never understand anyone's pain and suffering because I never played it.
You have to play it.
For me, it's more so the web swinging that hurt me. Cause like I legit was like, hey, use this idea. Okay. Oh, let's just like fuck it up. No, don't do that. That
Yeah,
and
because
they just
I never
ruined it.
played TASM 2, but I always wondered how did they fuck it up so hard? Because I played the first TASM and I thought it wasn't amazing or anything, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I could give it maybe probably like a 7 out of 10. I enjoyed it enough. It was a good enough time.
That's
And I was
really- you're really nice.
And I remember seeing all the user reviews for TASM 2, and I was like, good God, what did they fuck up on? And evidently everything.
Evidently everything.
Everything.
Evidently
Wait,
everything. fucked up on.
Lucas, I need you to accept my friend request on Discord so I can get you in the chat.
TASM 2 to me is no worse than the Amazing Spider-Man 1. Like people are like, oh, Amazing Spider-Man 1 looks better. I'm like, yeah, okay. Like both of those games. pissed
It
me
actually
off.
does though.
I
I don't
mean,
know what it
maybe-
is.
I don't know. It just both of those games pissed me off. I was so
I
mad.
can see why.
I got the Amazing Spider-Man 1 the day it came out. I was so
Same.
excited. I was like, yes. I saw the movie in the morning, and then that later that day I got the game because I saw the movie before it came out.
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I'm hyped. I went home. I was playing it. I was recording Venom Time or whatever, and I'm
Yeah.
recording it, and then. Like, I got to, like, that third episode. I just started getting tired of setting up stuff to play this trash game. I was like,
I,
I'm not
I,
about to set this stuff. I'm not.
I think the reason why I was so lenient on it is because it was due to out of circumstance. Because I did the same thing as you. I watched the movie like that morning, and then when I came back, I got the game and I decided to play it. And I wasn't the biggest fan of the movie. I really didn't like it. I wasn't a big fan of this really moody, like over like 30-year-old looking Peter Parker who's not really that smart. He's just kind of a dope more than anything. I just wasn't a big fan of like their interpretation of Spider-Man. So when I played the game, like, sure, it's still flawed as all hell. Like, it's incredibly flawed. The writing's awful in that game, but it's at least with Spider-Man, he felt more cheery. And I think at that point, I think I was just so depressed by the dark, moody tone of the first one. I was just like, man, anything's better than this at this point. Even if the dialogue, I will say the dialogue and the writing in that game is cringeworthy of like the highest level. It's kind of amazing.
You know what I really enjoyed from that game though?
Hmm.
I like that your suit could be damaged when you were hurt. Like I enjoyed that. I thought that was pretty
Oh,
nice.
man. Ooh, Venom. We were talking about leaks, my brother. Ooh, that battle damage. Oh, shit.
I
It's
wonder-
so good.
I actually,
still
I,
enjoy the
I,
battle
I
dance
really,
in
I really
6-7.
want to post my like. I gotta work on. I'm gonna work on that like tonight when I get back. I'm gonna try to get this video up like by Wednesday because that's when I start class.
Jeez, I need
Because,
to.
Yeah.
because
That
like
probably will hold you
how
up to
I
the game.
have like at least how I wrote like how he gets his suit messed up is he gets his suit messed up in the I spoil it, I don't care, it's my story. He gets his suit messed up during the fight with Negative in the subway.
Yeah.
Like that's what I have. Like it's like this whole big explosion set piece that leads to the subway and everything. And he gets his suit messed up that way, and then he builds another one And
yeah, that was actually the way me and Austin actually were speculating how his suit would get fucked up. We were speculating it would be the subway fight.
It would take.
And they were like, "Oh no, it's Kingpin," but it's something happens in that fight that makes them go like, "Oh shit, I gotta build another suit." God damn it!
And I did that too. Like I had it. Again, it's my story. I'll spoil it. It's like he. So
There's no embargoes on his own story.
Mr. Negative is like trying to control Spider-Man or whatever. So like he creates what did I have? I think it was I'm not a scientist, you know. I just act smart. I'm not actually. So like I think I had it like this funny comedic kind of, you know, it's Spider-Man. It's supposed to be a little upbeat. Like he's being affected by Mr. Negative. Mr. Negative is talking in his head or whatever, and so like Peter's in his apartment and he's like falling out, or he's trying to get himself up, and he gets a pan, and like he grabs the pan like trying to hold himself up, falls down, and the pan falls on his head, and it like and when the pan is covering his head, it like disconnects the link between him and Mr. Negative. So he then uses like the metallic properties from the pan to for his new suit, so he puts it like in his mask, and then like that was the reason for the carbon fiber and things like that. So
the whole white bits.
Yeah, so it's like metallic properties that protect him from Mr. Negative's powers. That's what I did in my story. I was writing and having a ball writing this. I was having so much
He was
fun.
going in, boys.
I was having a ball.
Nigga was going hard in the paint.
Yeah, and like I know, and like Mary Jane and Peter Parker's relationship is Insomniac. They took the easy approach. It's like, oh, you know, you're Spider-Man. You don't have no time for me. You know, we can't be together when you're Spider-Man. Like mine is like, oh, you basically cheated on me. Like.
Oh, with who exactly?
In my story, he didn't cheat on her, but it was like he got caught kissing Black Cat. In my story.
He got caught with the hands in the cookie jar.
You like what too, man?
That's my story. So it's much more. That's a messed up, and you know. So that's my story, and it goes through all that. And then Norman Osborn, him. I was having a blast writing it. I can't wait to like edit it and upload it. Lucas ain't joining, is he?
No, he's downloading Discord right now.
Oh, okay.
Oof.
But yeah, that's just a bit of my story. But I want to post it by this week, and it'll just be like the full story.
Hey, look, bro. As long as you get it up before, like, let me rephrase that. As long as you post it before
the game comes
the game comes out, yeah, like, because that probably will just hold me over till like the game comes out. Because I need something, but then also I have the prequel novel, so then I got to read that too. So.
Oh, I was about to say, have y'all read that?
I'm halfway.
Yeah, Austin got it for me today.
I skimmed parts of it.
That bastard.
I'm halfway through. It's better than I thought it was gonna be.
Yo, what does that mean?
You know what? I'll say this, all right, Venom. If you were given the money, okay, to either write the story for a game for a certain character that we all love, or write a novel for it, I would say that'd be 10 million times better than what we have. But yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's not that bad, right?
No, but you're a good writer though. That's the thing.
It's not really bad, but it kind of runs into that same problem whenever you do prequel novels to anything that hasn't come out yet. You can't really spoil anything, so because of that, nothing all that big happens.
They're like, we're gonna tease at it, but then we're gonna just leave it at that.
Yeah, it runs into the prequel novel problem whenever especially like whenever they try to do prequel novels like movies or something, but like, oh, we can't really get too much into it because the main story is the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of have to hold back on a lot of things.
But it's definitely darker than I was expecting. I'll say that much.
Wait, and did you say it was something akin to TNAS a little bit, or no?
No, I didn't say that because TNAS is like. TNAS is all over the place.
Right? TNAS is god tier. I don't care what anyone says. That's god tier.
Some levels, yeah.
It was just edgy. They made him cuss.
As I said, and I'm actually one of the few people in this group who, in the group of like the squad itself, who doesn't really like the MTV show. I don't like it really at all.
There's definitely moments I like from it.
I definitely like I like the adult aspect of it, but
yeah. I like what they were
like the art
attempting,
style.
but they kind of went too far, just making it kind of like bleak and uninteresting rather than it being like actually adult.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that
It also had that.
I dislike the most from that series is the ending. It's just like, hey, let's quit.
I give up.
What?
I give up.
Yeah, no spoilers, dude.
Oh.
Come on, no.
Spoilers for like
I'm
a
just kidding.
15-year-old show. All right.
I know. That ending was absolute bullshit, bro. I'm just saying right now.
And then they didn't even do a season 2. It's like, hey, fuck you.
Yeah, that show had a bullshit ass fucking no.
Nobody
Wait,
watched
I would say almost every Spider-Man show would had a bullshit ass ending.
Yeah, every
The '90s
really
show.
They always end on cliffhangers. 90s cliffhanger, MTV
Spectacular.
cliffhanger, spectacular cliffhanger.
Yeah,
But of
fuck,
course,
man.
Ultimate gets an ending. Of course, that
Now,
gets a book
I have a question. Is Marvel making like bad Spider-Man shows on purpose?
I don't
I feel
know.
like at this point, I feel like they're like, we gotta keep it up, boys. Come on.
No,
now.
I have a bigger question. Does Marvel just like jerking around the Spider-Man fans in terms of voice acting? Because like they put Josh Keaton in that new show and in this game, and he's now voicing Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's Norman Osborn and he's,
and Electro on this one.
Electro.
And it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I will say he's good at both roles. Like I believe it. It's convincing. It's good. I like it. He's arguably the only like the really good performance in the cartoon. Like he's menacing. He's good.
Yeah.
But I'm like, he's Spider-Man. That's who he is, bro.
I would
He
say
is Spider-Man,
not only did they
right?
do that with Josh Keaton, they did that with Christopher Daniel Barnes in Ultimate too, because he voices Electro in that show.
Are you kidding me?
No, he
Yep, that's Christopher Daniel
voiced an
Barnes.
alternate version of Spider-Man as well.
Oh, he did. Which
Yeah.
one did he voice?
Spider Knight.
What?
The lamest one.
At
The
least I
lamest
remember
one.
Christopher Daniel Barnes.
He voiced the
Spider-Knight.
lamest version of Spider-Man.
Spider Knight? Who the hell is that?
I don't know.
It's
They made it up.
bullshit. It's
They didn't
bullshit.
want to do 1602 for some reason, so they did Spider-Man.
Well, I don't like 1602 personally. I just don't.
I like his
That whole-
I don't know anything about that version.
I'm so happy that suit's not in this game, but you know, I feel like there should have been more suits in this game in general.
Damn, that Spider
speaking
Knight
of
got me
Christopher
shook. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Wait, that messed you up, Venom?
Oh wait, hella shook.
I was about to just end the damn stream on that one.
Damn,
Spider-Knight.
dude. It hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, what the hell, Marvel?
Throw some dirt in your eye.
Oh,
Damn.
Trust me, things get worse. I mean, they already did Miles Morales, Spider-Gwen. They're about to do like the other Spider chick in Marvel
Nah,
Spider-Man.
didn't they already do freaking? Yeah, they already did fucking. Yeah, they already did Superior, right?
Yep, they're already
I
doing
think so.
Superior.
They're doing okay.
my
And
God.
on that note, I have to leave because this Marvel is killing me, and this conversation is killing me, and I have an appointment in 15 minutes. So, I want to thank y'all for joining. Listen,
Damn.
we were talking. Josh and I were talking. Josh asked, like, what if we did like a stream all together, like in a party when Spider-Man comes out? And I was like, I don't know, because I'm gonna be playing the game. I'm not gonna be talking too much, but I think that would be cool though. If we
Yeah.
all
Yeah,
were, like,
because
together.
I wanted to do a stream. Like I was gonna stream it regardless, because like I just wanted like people to see like how it feels for me like to play for the first time. I was gonna have like maybe like one of my friends and then my cousin, and there's just gonna be 3 of us. But if you guys are down, like even if just you like Venom yourself, like we just get on PSN and then that's it.
That'd be dope.
That's cool. Like if you want, you could just give me like you can just like DM me your PSN and then I'll add you, and then like
It's
then,
Venom.
like, we could
It's
just
Venom
post
2
on-
million. It's like my Twitter,
that's it.
Yeah.
Just Venom 2 million.
but it's like 2MILLION.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I-
I'm down for that. I'm 100% down for that. But I want to thank y'all for coming through. Thank you, the listeners, the viewers. Thank y'all for watching. Stay tuned for my channel. Stay tuned to everybody else's channel. I'm gonna put information.
I
in the
thoroughly look
description.
forward to reading all of your death threats.
Oh, shoot,
He's just gonna somehow read it even though he's not receiving them.
But yeah, thank
We'll be
you
there.
all. Thank everybody for watching. I'm gonna put everybody's information in the description later on because I have to leave now. But Venom 2 million saying, have a good one. Peace. Peace out, y'all. Peace.
Yup.